Creative is back at it here to give everyone another Game of Thrones Season 8 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Game of Thrones, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my suggestion that you don't watch this video any further just to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2. The title of this episode is called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. This will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. Daenerys and Sansa both contemplate the fate of Jaime Lannister, who of course reveals Cersei was lying about sending her army, which Sansa knew anyway. They decide to let Jaime fight for the North after Brienne vouches for him and says that Jaime is an honorable man for the stuff that happened early on in the show, how Jaime defended her from being raped and all the other stuff, that he lost his hand for it, and that was nice. And then what Jaime does is he speaks with Bran, who and apologizes for trying to kill him way back in the pilot episode. But Bran holds no anger because it's not really Bran, it's Mellow Bran. And then Daenerys is angry at Tyrion for believing Cersei that she was going to help him, but she is later appeased by Jorah, who calms her down. Now, Sansa and Daenerys attempt to clear the air between them based on their mutual love of Jon, but Daenerys doesn't have an answer when Sansa asks about the fate of the North once Daenerys becomes takes the Iron Throne. Theon returns, wishing to fight for the Starks. And also we get Tormund, Beric, and Ed, who all arrive at Winterfell. Jon's going to essentially hug Ed, and then Tormund tackles him out of nowhere. And then they all embrace eventually. And then Tormund's like, "Is the big one here?" Tormund is definitely comic relief in Season 8 of Game of Thrones. His obsession with Brienne of Tarth is just hilarious. And then at the War Council, Bran persuades them to let him act as bait to lure the Night King, who of course wishes to kill him. Theon volunteers to defend Bran with the Ironborn, and Jon and Daenerys plan to ambush the Night King when he reveals himself to destroy him. Arya, she talks to the Hound and asks him why he came to the North since he only fought for himself typically, and then he retorts that he fought for her in Season 4, and then Beric Dondarrion shows up, and him and the Hound kind of start getting into it, and the Hound tells him, "You better not go on a sermon now. Thoros isn't here to bring you back to life after I throw you off this ledge." And then Arya gets up and starts to leave, and then the Hound's like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, I don't want to die with you two miserable pieces of shit." So then Arya goes to visit Gendry, and of course, he reveals to Arya that he is the bastard son of Robert Baratheon. And wanting to know what it's like, Arya loses her virginity to Gendry. And there was a very shocking moment for people on Game of Thrones because people think Maisie Williams is really young. While when she started the show, she was very young. She is of age, maybe not in the show, but the actress is of age. So she did some side nudity there, and that was pretty interesting stuff there, but it was a good moment, and it's a moment because people want Arya and Gendry to get together, and they did. So there's that. And then Tyrion, Jaime, Brienne, Podrick, Sir Davos, and Tormund gather in the meeting hall to drink before the battle. Davos wasn't going to have a drink, but then he changes his mind, and then the conversation turns to why women can't be knighted, and Jaime's like, another knight can knight another knight, and of course Tormund says that he would knight Brienne without hesitation, probably over and over and over again, and then Jaime Lannister ends up knighting Brienne of Tarth, which is a very emotional moment, but a good moment nonetheless on Game of Thrones. Jorah Mormont fails at attempting to stop Lyanna Mormont from fighting in the battle. Nobody's going to stop Lyanna. She's a beast. Sam approaches Jorah and gives him the house sword of House Tarly, the Valyrian steel sword, Heartsbane, out of gratitude for the influence that Jorah's father Jorah had on him personally. And then Daenerys, well, before this, actually, you have a scene while Podrick's singing a song to kind of ease the mood, but it's an eerie feeling because this is probably going to be the last time that most of these characters are like chilling without, what's going to happen next. And you see this scene with Missandei and Grey Worm like kissing, like obviously they're not going to be together much longer. One of them or both of them are going to bite the dust, but it's very ominous. And then after that song ends, Daenerys visits Jon in the crypts, and he reveals his true parentage to Daenerys, but Daenerys is skeptical about the reliability of the information that was given to him. But they are interrupted by horn blasts signaling the approach of the army of the dead. And then it kind of zooms back and we see the White Walkers on horses, and that is how this episode ends. So, pretty good episode. Some parts are a little slow, but we want some mellow moments because we're about to get some craziness in the next episode of Game of Thrones. It's going to be sad because I know, obviously that some of these characters, this is their last episode on Game of Thrones, and I liked it, but I felt like they could have done more on this episode. I felt like the first 2 episodes should have been combined. So with that in mind, I'm going to give the episode a 7.5 out of 10, and my character of the episode is going to be Brienne, as she was good. She was, the title of the episode is kind of focused at Night of the Seven Kingdoms, or they could be just talking about a night. A night is in the night, time of night in the Seven Kingdoms. But she got knighted in the episode. When they were giving Jaime a trial, she stuck up for him, and I think that was a really good moment. Now she has to avoid all Tormund's flirtation and stuff like that, but it was okay nonetheless. So you've heard what I had to say. Now it's your turn. So first of all, if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, be sure to smash that like button. If you want, and I would appreciate it, share this across all your social media platforms, or just share it with somebody that you know that really likes Game of Thrones. I'm fine with that. And let me know that you're doing that so I can give you credit. Sound off in the comment section about your thoughts. What would you score this episode? I know people probably give it more of a higher episode, probably mid-8s, but I want to be a little bit more picky. It's season 8, and people don't generally like this season. It is not, I repeat, not my least favorite season of Game of Thrones. And then, tell me what you thought about the episode. What was your favorite moment in addition to the score? And if there's a character that you want to give the episode to, who would it be? I picked Brienne. Maybe you picked different. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, I want to grow the channel. It's not the easiest thing to do, but I need your help. So if you wouldn't mind, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And, of course, JDev will return.